perception is reality, but you're the observer that chooses what you look at, what you focus on, what you place your attention on. I just got back from a run. I don't know, what is it, like 40 degrees or something out. I used to never run in the cold because I always told myself this story that I can't run in the cold, that I don't want to run in the cold. I dislike running in the cold. Running in the cold sucks. I've told myself this story. I've told myself this story. I'm not a winter person in general. I've told myself that story. I used to get seasonal affective disorder, sad, less daylight, all that, the cold weather. I used to tell myself that the world outside of my house was cold and dark, and I don't want to go out in the winter. I don't want, the world is basically closed in the winter. Come inside. And while there's, the ebb and flow of seasons, there's some, lesson in that as well. More than anything, it was a story that I just told myself that I believed. Now I'm running outside. I'm not a huge mask person, but one of the positive things I've taken from the mask is I've got my Guy Fawkes mask that I wear when I have to do my public stuff. And I've been using that when I run now. So that's one of the things that always got me, I think, the most was just the way my face would get hit with the winter winds and my lungs. So I wear my mask a lot when I run, and it's now the world is different. The world changed because my perception changed. I go outside, I look outside, and I don't see a closed world anymore. I'm running, and I get the same feeling that I did when I was running in the spring. I just get to do the run. And I'm not running really long right now. I'm just doing quick miles and trying to do it fast so I can, build up just my strength overall and endurance. That's a whole nother thing. My fitness is a different avenue of perception. Go harder before we go farther is kind of the motto I'm going with that right now. Just intense bursts, sprints, and stuff like that. And we can do that in our life, build strength over the long haul by sprinting, calculated. But anyway, that's a different story. I came back from my run, and again, this is how perception and perspective changes. So I left the house, I went on my run in the cold, and I come back, and Kelly leaves the house and is saying the house is cold. And it's cold to her. That's her perception from waking up, getting out of bed, and leaving this morning. I come back to the house, and after a run and in the cold, it feels like a furnace. It feels like a sauna. I'm like, man, I'm burning up. So I go to take my shower, and in the summer, a lot of times I do cold showers. Cold exposure is really good for your immune system. It's good for helping you burn fat. It's actually good for depression. It helps you wake up, obviously, become more alert if you take cold showers. Now, most people I ain't taking a cold shower. That's crazy. You're nuts. No way. Need my warm shower. Again, this is a perception in a world that I've, kept for myself, especially in the winter. In the winter, I'm I don't do the cold showers in the winter because I'm not do the cold shower and then get out into the cold house, right? Perception again, because now I walk in the house as a furnace because I'm running outside. So my whole world has changed. So I get in the shower. I'm it is too hot. I am dying. I cannot take a hot shower right now. I can't take a warm shower right now. So I put on the cold, but there's this cognition, this kind of story again that I've told myself that I'm in the winter. And so the shock was more because I wasn't necessarily ready for it. So my body kind of started to reject it, and I get into fight or flight. And there's this okay, maybe I'm not ready for this. Maybe it's okay. But then I was no, that's just the story you're telling yourself. And so I pushed into the cold again, and it was cranked on pretty heavy. And even though every bit of my body was trying to reject it, with my mind and spirit, I said, sorry, this is what we're doing. And I went into it, and the the fight or flight part, when it clicked in my head, like one of the things that my mind said to my body is like, you're not going to die, right? This isn't going to kill you. It isn't even going to hurt you. It isn't going to make you sick. Like, so everything that you're doing right now to try and convince us, mind and spirit, cognition, perspective, perception, that this is wrong, we don't care. And we're going into this. And so when I had that moment where it said, where like that clicked, and it, not that I just understood it, but I felt it through my whole perception and being like that, this isn't going to hurt me. This isn't going to kill me. And there was so much energy built up from the fight or flight, though, kind of response. I just busted out laughing. And I felt like I was like the Joker or something, man. So I'm like, am I going insane? Is this crazy? But it was just like, it was a release of Ephraim's energy, that of the fight or flight, of the fear, like cracked open. And then just like, I couldn't help but laugh. It's kind of like hitting a funny bone, where it's like it hurt, but it was funny at the same, like it tickled still at the same time. So I guess it just tickled my spirit. It tickled my mind. I was just laughing. It was hilarious. So if you ever want to try it and have the audacity to jump into a cold shower, the best time obviously is probably right after you do a workout, because then you're like, all right, whatever, I'm working out. You're already putting yourself into a place of like growth through discomfort. So it's like, you work out, you kind of push your body. There's a certain kind of cracking of just lethargy, or just staying in one place. So you're already pushing your body in through some discomfort. So it's like, well, I'm in this mode anyway. Let's go through a little bit more discomfort to get even more unlocked. But if you try it, when you feel that fight or flight, just ask yourself, like, what does it mean? Get in that moment and say, what does this mean? What does it mean that I won't do this cold shower? Yeah, I know it's uncomfortable. Yeah, I know a lot of things are uncomfortable, but again, there's growth and discomfort. So it's uncomfortable to lift weights. It's uncomfortable to get on a treadmill or to run or all these, but that's where we find, the fruit is in the fire. So if we go into the fire and pull something out of it, if you think about a diamond is made under time and pressure, intense pressure, right? So we take a lump of coal and make it into a diamond. So this is what we do with ourselves, with our body, with our mind, our spirit. So if you go into the shower and you feel that cold, like that's just a real basic, easy, rudimentary way for you to test the meter of what you're able to do. And so you go into that cold shower, and when you feel the fight or flight kick in, that's what it is. I mean, that's very real. So it's like it's happening on TV, it's happening in the news, it's happening in our Facebook feeds, and we don't necessarily recognize it the same way. Fight or flight, it's the, celebrity and news and gossip and racism and sexism and all these different isms and sexuality, all these different things where it like hits us, but we don't recognize it. But this is a very easy way to go right into, your job with your boss. This is an easy way though to go right into it, get in a cold shower, and you're going to trigger fight or flight, guaranteed. No doubt about it. So it's a way to know that you're going to trigger it, but have the perception that you're triggering it, and trigger it on purpose with some consciousness, with some observing and knowing that you're the observing this reality and going to shape it, go into it. And when you get to that fight or flight, instead of being afraid, instead of feeling hurt, it might make you laugh. It might make you feel kind of like super excited. And that's part of, I think, again, how the cold exposure obviously can help with things like depression. Also helps your skin. You need like moisturizer and stuff. Hot showers that help. Warm showers like dry your skin out more. So cold showers, you might be using less moisturizer. Anyway, that's my piece. Peace.